Shalom Yasharala Yahawah, Brother Malak, back with a biblical lesson breakdown. I'm a man of many gifts and talents, but there's nothing like the gift of prophecy or prophesying. And this is a quick lesson going into what these devils call the UFOs or orbs. And the scrolls, the biblical scrolls, speaks on these things. And they're basically spaceships. That's basically what they are. I mean, well, more so chariots. They're the spaceships and the chariots of the children of Israel, the Israelites, the 12 tribes. This Edomite, he goes into it, and I'm fixed to believe that, you know, Yahawah, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Yahawah, he sends out not only the chariots, not only the angels, the angelic transports, in which we call UFOs or spaceships, but he actually sends out certain angels that come down in the midst of the earth and do their due diligence, along with these demons as well. You know, both rams is realer than what you think. The spiritual ram and the earthly ram. We're in the earthly ram, but there's also a spiritual ram, and everything takes its course in the spiritual ram. So I'm sitting here looking at this one visual or video, and his name is David Wilcock, and he talks about Simian Tokyo. If you know about Simian Tokyo. You know, this supposed, you know, what they say, this supposed, you know, a replica of Black Jesus. But what I'm coming to digest, so to speak, this guy has to be an angel. He has to be one of the angels that was sent, or he could very well be the 144,000. So it's an interesting story.
Basically like a bandsaw, I guess, and sawed up his body into a whole bunch of pieces, put him in these very like radioactive shielded containers, and then had all these fighter jets docked.
And P.S., man, the prophets of Yasharallah, the prophets of Yahawah, were on the scene. We have been risen and downloaded and given the Rakak Kadash, the Ruach Kadash, to break down these scrolls, these chapters, these scriptures. You know, this it's called the scriptures, man. It's a movie that's being played before your eyes, and everybody has their role inside this movie. The scriptures, the script. You have the antagonist, the protagonist, the climax, the story. Like, you don't realize that you're really living in a motion picture. Everyone is living inside a motion picture. You have the desirables and the undesirables, and I'm speaking on that as far as how Yahawah feels, how Yahawah Bahashim Yahweh Shai feels. He has the desirables, and then he has the undesirables. And those that know these scrolls, these prophecies, you know, can break them down and understand them, and you know, comprehend the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. You know, you have your lot, so to speak. We all have a lot. We all have a fulfillment. We all have a lot in this story, in this movie, before the second coming of Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. It's, you know, everyone has their role. Everyone has their lot to play out. But back to the story. I kind of digress.
With the plane and fly his body parts to all corners of the world, where then these containers turned them into ash. And they thought that maybe this would defeat him, like that his body somehow, the tissue was necessary. So if they destroyed all the tissue in all these places across the world, maybe they could defeat him. Well, he then regenerated in their offices and was fully.
So just to get us, to quicken up this, the synopsis. Basically, this angelic. Well, he had to be angelic because he has certain powers. I mean, and then he was doing good. His name is Simeon Tokyo, so he had to be angelic. I mean, you have demonic powers, and then you have angelic powers. You have demonic powers, and then you have angelic powers. But both powers serve Yahawah Bahashim Yahushai. And that's what I'm kind of going to steer into too. I might as well. But Simeon Tokyo was doing good, so he had to be angelic. He had to be an angel or whatnot, or one of the 144,000. He seems to come from one of the tribes. So basically, man, they, Esau, man, people fear what they can't conquer. People fear what they can't conquer, so they couldn't conquer him. And the guy's going into the story on how they tried to get rid of him, but yet Yahawah Bahashim Yahushai made it to where he came back into the physical realm, because you have two realms. You have the spiritual realm, and then you have the physical realm. So he came back into the physical. He came back from the spiritual realm back into the physical realm, and he gave them a little message. And this is why I believe within this message he's alluding to the 144,000 and the coming prophecies that's set to play out in the latter days.
Fine, fully intact. But the sad part is that he said, you guys so badly do not want me to be here that I am not going to be able to do any more. You're going to get what you want, but bear in mind that in the future, many others like me will be coming, and when they do, you will not be able to stop us.
Wow.
And those many more that he's alluding to, Salak, that's coming is it's the 144,000 in the angels in Yahushua Mashiach. That's who he was alluding to, and that's who's coming. It's all throughout the Bible. It's already written throughout the earth. These devils know the prophecies. They study with their scholars to try to break down our scriptures and prophecies and scrolls. But it tells you that Yahushua is coming back to uproot the wicked from the earth. He's coming back to destroy, to eradicate, to annihilate, to disintegrate this current kingdom, if you will. It's written throughout all of the texts, all of the ancient texts. All of the ancient texts, man. All of the ancient texts is written throughout the text, the scrolls, the prophecies. Yahushua HaMashiach. Yahawah Shai HaMashiach. Whom people ignorantly call Jesus Christ. He's coming back with the 144,000 and the angels, the chariots in which these devils call UFOs, orbs, and everything else. He's coming back to, well, he tells you who he's coming back for. Let's grab it. Let's bring out the prophecies. Let's bring out these biblical prophecies. So who is he coming back for? That's a good question. Let's grab Isaiah Isaiah, prophet Isaiah, chapter 63. It says, who is this that comes from Edom? Ah, aha, aha. Who is this that comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? It says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger. So Yahawah Mashiach, he's coming back with a lot of things on his chest, with a lot of things on his mind, so to speak. It says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my spirit, my heart, my mind, and the year of my redeemed is come. It says, and I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in my anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth. So that's who he's coming back for. He's coming back for whomever that's wickedly ruling right now in this time, this era, this age. And that particular person happens to be who I call Dr. E. Dr. E, man, Dr. Evil. And who is Dr. Evil? Who is Dr. E? Well, that the mystery, gave it away with who is this that come from Edom. So there you have it. This is who Yahawah HaMashiach, Yahawah is coming forth, or coming for rather. It's coming forth for. It's coming for the nation of Edom. Esau, Edom, this particular nation and people. Yahawah, the Ancient of Days, he has a bone to pick with this particular nation. He has a bone to pick with these particular people, the Edomites. So when these heathen scholars, when these Gentile scholars say that the nation of Edom is done away with, or the nation of Edom no longer exists, then how is it that this future eschatology of future prophecy that's written in the Old Testament, how is it that it's so? How is it that Yahawah or prophet Isaiah is being downloaded the wisdom, the foreshadowing, the foreknowledge to comprehend and understand that Yahawah, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, is coming back for the second coming to uproot and to eradicate a nation that goes by Edom. So, yeah, man, it's prophecy. Prophecy. And best believe these devils know prophecy. They read the prophecy. I guarantee you. But bringing it all the way back to the video. So I believe that guy, Simeon Tokyo, he had to be one of the elect. I believe he had to be one of the elect. Or he had to be an angel. Either that or one of the elect. It's one of the two. So let's go with some more prophecies, because that's truly our profession in this day, age, and era. To be prophets, to bring out the foreshadowing, to tell before it happens. It's not by chance nor coincidence that these men throughout the earth and even to you women out there. The Bible does speak of the lady elect, or the elect lady, as the elders and the apostles speak of, and as the biblical scrolls speak of. But it's not by chance you Israelite men of all ages. You don't know who the elect is, but you kind of have a feeling of who the elect could be, because the elect knows the scrolls, they know the prophecies, they know the Bible from front to back to middle, and they even know of the Bible. They even know of some of the Bible that, well, not even some of it. They know parts of the Bible that has been taken out. The elect. These are all the attributes of the elect. I would say, I would convey, and these books that have been taken out is called the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha, which is part of the Bible, which is the Bible, in which these devils took out, the Apocrypha. And these are the other secrets and mysteries and prophecies that tie in everything together. But let's continue on. So basically, man, that Simeon Tokyo, I believe he was probably one of the 144,000. He was angelic. And I don't know which tribe he's from. He looks like he could be from the tribe of Levi, but could be from Benjamin or Judah, one of the tribes. But I believe definitely that was a 4-4 or foretelling. But the chariots, man, these chariots, they're poking their heads out, so to speak. But it's going to get to the good part of the movie. The movie is going to get to the good part. We're getting to the good part of the movie. Like I said, man, everybody has a lot to play in this movie. It's not by chance that you where you're at. It's not by chance that you know what you know. It's not by chance. Nothing is coincidental. When you know what? Let me just grab it instead of just what's the name? Nothing is coincidental. Proverbs 20:24. It says, a man's goings, or a woman's goings, or a child goings, anything, any soul for that matter. It says a man's goings are of Yahawah, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. How can a man then understand his way? Look at that. Let's grab Job 12. Job 12, verse 10, it says, in whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath of all mankind. And that breath is life, the life of all mankind. In whose hand is the soul of every living thing, and the breath, the life of all mankind. So Job 12:10, Proverbs 20:24, two or more witnesses, basically telling you that nothing is coincidental. Everything is governed and sovereign by Yahawah, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Ancient of Days, Yahawah, Yahawah. It's just that simple. But, the chariots, man. Yahweh Shai is coming back with the chariots, the angels, the angelic transport, the UFOs, if you will, the UAPs, if you will. He's coming back inside he's coming back inside a mega chariot. If my memory serves me right, according to Second Esdras, Prophet Esdras, chapter 13, the whole chapter speaks of this mega chariot, this mega spaceship, this father ship, along with other ships. It's coming back in a major dramatic way. Yahweh Shai he's a so-called black man. The Father himself is a so-called black man. The angels are so-called black men. We do everything in style, man. Everything a black man, a brown man does is in style. Swagger, style. Dramatic, if you will. I mean, they call it dramatic, but I guess it's dramatic. Everything. You are the salt of the earth. So when Yahawah returns for the second coming, it's going to be very dramatic. It's going to be very, it's going to be very, very spooky. It's going to be a spooky, 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 spooky situation for the wicked, for the unrighteous. So Matthew 24, verse 30, it says, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth, I believe that's all of the nations, not just the chosen tribes. It says, and they shall see the Son of Man, Yahawah Mashiach, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, coming in the clouds. And that's not rain clouds. It's not talking about rain clouds. It says, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So how do you understand these scrolls? I mean, the prophets, we prophets, us prophets, the prophets, we've been telling you how to break down the Bible, precept upon precept. All of this knowledge and wisdom is coming out in this time of knowledge being increased. Knowledge shall be increased. All of this stuff is coming out by the way of the prophets, by the way of the apostles, the elders. You know, thank you, Yahawah, for the elders, man, that have been given the Ruach Chadash from Yahawah to bring forth the truth in the gospel. So now everybody has the truth in the gospel if they can receive it and believe it. But we know only the elect. But best believe these devils, they know. These devils know what we're saying and what we're preaching and teaching and prophesying is the truth. Best believe the devil knows. Best believe, man, I always say this when I do these lessons, man, or when the Spirit comes on me to do these lessons. The antagonist always knows about the protagonist and vice versa. That's just how it goes. So let's grab some more. Revelations chapter 11, verse 12. It says, and they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. Basically, come up here. And they ascended. That day is the 144,000, the elect. They ascended up to heaven. They just didn't ascend up to heaven. They just didn't ascend up to heaven. Just ascend up to heaven. It says they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. Revelations chapter 11, verse 12. It says, and they ascended up to heaven in a cloud. In a cloud. And their enemies beheld them. And those enemies is going to be the nations. It's going to be the nations, because the way Yahawah Mashiach is coming back, it's going to be the greatest cinematic, dramatic movie you ever seen in your life. It's going to be the greatest cinematic, dramatic movie you ever seen in your life. He's going to come back in the midst of World War III, when these nations are warring with one another. When Yahawah Bahashem Yahawah brings all of these nations into the valley of Jehoshaphat. And he's going to come in the midst. We believe he's going to come in the midst of that. And they're going to turn their attentions from that and turn their attentions towards him. And in the midst of that, when that happened, that's how we're going to get beamed up and whatnot. I believe everything is going to happen simultaneously. Don't quote me on it too heavy. Yahawah Bahashem Yahawah willing, he shows me more. But I definitely believe these things are going to happen simultaneously. Because Leviathan, I do believe Leviathan, he pops out as well. They call him Godzilla. Leviathan pops out as well. Leviathan has his cameo, man. Everybody's going to have their cameo. Leviathan is going to have his cameo. Yahawah Mashiach is going to have his cameo. The elect, 144,000. The X-Men are going to have their cameo. Esau and the nations are going to have their cameo. This thing is going to be a marvelous event. It's a prophetic prophecy. Revelations 11:12, it says, "And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, Come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them." So they went up in a cloud. That's the point I'm making. That's the point I'm emphasizing. What is these clouds that these scrolls keep speaking of? Well, it's what these devils call a UFO or orb. This is what these clouds are. The flying rolls, as the Bible calls them, the chariots of Israel, is what the Bible calls them. Everything that happens in the earthly world is documented in the Bible. Everything that happens in the earthly world is documented in the Bible. Basics. I don't know who dubbed this acronym, but it's right. I guess it's legit. Basic instructions before leaving Earth. Or I got one better. Basic instructions before leaving Esau's kingdom. I like that better. Luke 9:34 says, while he thus spoke, there came a cloud. There goes that cloud again. And overshadowed them. So this couldn't be a rainy cloud. This couldn't be a rain cloud, because this rain cloud overshadowed them. And this is talking about Peter. I believe this was Peter and Simon when they was with Yahawah up in the mountain. It says, while he thus spoke, there came a cloud and overshadowed them, and they feared. These men is with Yahawah Mashiach. These men are dwelling with Yahawah Mashiach. They sing Yahawah Mashiach heal and do all type of spiritual works, all type of angelic superhero works. So it would be it would be dumb to think that they would fear a rain cloud. It would be dumb for them to fear a rain cloud. And they're sitting there next to Yahawah Mashiach. Luke chapter 9, verse 34 says, while he thus spoke, there came a cloud and overshadowed them. And they feared as they entered into the cloud. Do you get my drift? Do you get my point? It's a chariot, man. It's a spaceship. It's a UFO. It hovered over them. And they got beamed up, man. Beam me up, man. Beam me up. That's the point I'm making. And these chariots, these clouds, these UFOs, these angelic transports, all of this stuff ties in together in these biblical prophecies. And Yahawah is coming back with the clouds, with the flying rolls, with the chariots of Israel to destroy this kingdom and to grab his redeem. Who is his redeem? His redeem is the 12 tribes of Israel. It's really the 144,000. It's the elect of the tribes of Israel. I'm giving you the game play for play. The prophets, the apostles, the teachers, the scholars of the house of Judah, of the house of Israel, we're giving you the game play by play. The truth resides with, I'll say it, man, the truth resides with Elder Tahar. The truth resides with Elder Gabar. The truth resides with Elder Ramla and Elder Rakah and all of the elders on down, man. GMS. The truth resides with GMS, man. Ultimately, the truth resides with Yahawah Bahashim Yahawah Shai. It's just that simple. And I got to say that again, man. Luke 9, chapter 34 says, while he thus spoke, there came a cloud, and it overshadowed them, and they feared as they entered into the cloud. So it's not talking about a rain cloud, a regular cloud, man. This is code word, code red for UFO, as we call them today. the chariots. And there's many videos, there's many pictures, there's classified information, there's declassified information. Your own Pentagon just told you that the UFOs exist. And what did you stupid Americans do? You didn't bat an eye. You didn't even bat an eye. You didn't bat an eye. You just went with it so regularly. And that's probably because of that whole COVID shenanigans. You know, this devil, he does everything, man. He thinks he's the master chess player, but he's not the master chess player. There's only one master chess player. And that's how they dropped that truth bomb on you, man. They did it in the midst of COVID. So everybody was getting beat up and whooped up by COVID, to where the point where they dropped the truth. UFOs exist. Aliens exist, as they call them. But we know, as the prophets of Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi, these are not aliens. These are angels, and these are demons. Demons and angels, they exist. And they're all throughout the Bible. So they dropped that truth bomb in the midst of the COVID shenanigans. So everybody was already just mentally defeated. You were mentally defeated by the COVID shenanigans, to where when they dropped the truth on you, you dumb Americans didn't even bat an eye when they said that the UFOs exist. So it is what it is. I don't even trip over it. But let's grab some more prophecy. Isaiah, let's grab it. Isaiah, prophet Isaiah. Prophet Isaiah chapter 66. Prophet Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15 through 16. It says, "For behold, Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi, Yahawah will come with fire, and with his chariots, the clouds, the flying roes, the UFOs, the spaceships, like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire." So yeah, man, that Star Trek movie that you love to watch. You know, Star Trek has like not even Star Trek, but Star Wars, rather. Star Wars movie, and the whole trilogy and whatnot. I think it's probably more than a trilogy, but you know, Star Wars, Star Trek, Starship, Independence Day, all of this stuff. Where do you think these devils get the inspiration? It's all biblical. It's all real. Declassified information, classified information. The Pentagon, your Gov just told you that all of this was real. But you idiots, you Americans are such idiots, to where they can tell you just about any secret, and you devils will still, you know, not take heed to it. You know, and yeah, you're devils, because if you're not following Yahawah Bahashim Yahawashi, then you're devils. You're being devils. So yeah, you Americans are devils. All of you citizens of all of these different nations, you're devils if you're not following the Bible. So yeah, but let's go with the true doctrine of the Bible. I should add the true doctrine. But let's go with let's grab some more prophecy, man. James. So Simeon Tokyo, man, I believe he was an angel, just to bring everything back in to perspective. I believe Simeon Tokyo was an angelic angel. Technically we're all angels in these fleshly bodies, but he was definitely on the angelic side. That's what I mean when I say that. He was on the angelic side, and I believe he could be part of the elect, the 144,000. And when I look at him, he has the broad nose, he has the broad lips, the dark skin, the woolly hair. So he definitely comes from one of the tribes, and he definitely could be one of the elect. Simeon Tokyo, Black Jesus, as they say. But James 2:19, what is it? James 2 James 2:19, it says, thou believe that there is one God, and that God is the Ancient of Days, that is Yahawah Bahashim Yahushai. It says, thou do well. So if you believe in God, you do well. And I agree. It says the demons, the devils, the demons also believe and they tremble. James 2:19, it says, thou believe that there is one God, Yahawah, the Ancient of Days. It says, thou do well. So if you believe in God, you do well. And I believe this goes for all mankind, the Israelites and the heathens, the Gentiles. It says, thou believe that there's one God, you do well. It says the devils also believe, the demons. The demons believe and tremble. The demons, they tremble. And this is why I laugh at you stupid idiots that be out here claiming that you're a demon. You know how Jake, I'm a demon. I got 100 bodies. I got 30 bodies. I'm a demon. I'm a demon. I'm a demon. All through this Bible, man, demons are the lowest rank. Demons are the lowest rank. The lowest rank. But you love claiming that you're a demon. When it comes to this spiritual rank, demons are the lowest rank. And they run. They run from Yahawah Bahashim Yahushai. They run from the true prophets, the true 144,000. James 2:19 again, it says, thou believe that there is one God, thou do well. It says the demons also believe and tremble. They tremble at Yahawah Bahashim Yahushai. And not only the demons, but the angels. Let's grab the angels. The angels also tremble. Everything trembles at the wrath of Yahawah, or the wrath of God. Everything trembles. What is this? Second Esdras 8:24, I believe. Second Esdras 8:24. Second Esdras 8:24. Let's go into it. I believe. Where we at? We at 37. I ain't want this to be that long. But Second Esdras 8:21. Second Esdras 8:21. It says, we'll start at 20. It says, O Yahawah, thou that dwellest in everlastingness, which behold from above things in the heaven and in the air, whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling. Man, that's amazing, man. Ain't nothing in existence. You know what? I got to make some shirts on that, man. I got to make some quotes. I got to make some shirts. I got to make some merchandise on that. Nothing in existence can stand the test of the wrath of God. The wrath of God is the highest power. I'll say that again. The wrath of God is the highest power in existence. Nothing can stand the wrath of God. The wrath of God is the highest power in existence. Second Esdras 8:21, it says whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, and before whom the host of angels stand with trembling. So I just proved to you via prophecy through both prophets. And the apostles are considered prophets too, because they were foreshadowing and foretelling things too. So James and Ezra. Esdras is Ezra. Ezra tells you rather that the angels tremble before Yahawah, and James tells you that the demons tremble before Yahawah. So both entities tremble. And not only the demons and the angels, but those that know the truth about Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, we tremble as well. The fear of the Lord, we fear the Lord as well. The prophets, the apostles. If we didn't fear the Lord, then we would be doing wickedness and practicing wickedness every day. We'll be trying rather to just live our lives, to just be out here just living like you have people doing. You actually have humans just out here just living, just free balling, as I call it, or as we call it, free balling. They don't believe in a God. They don't believe in a devil. They don't believe in angels. They don't believe in demons. They don't believe in nothing spiritual. They just out here free balling. And these prophecies is realer than what you can imagine. So just think of that. Just put that in perspective. I'm gonna end it with this because I don't want it to be this long. If demons fear Yahawah, and if the angels fear Yahawah, and then you have humans just out here just lost in the sauce, just free balling. They don't have no type of as that's what fear is. Rather that's what wisdom is. Wisdom is the fear of Yahawah Bahashem Yahweh Shai. It is the root and the basement of wisdom. But if the angels fear Yahawah, if the demons fear Yahawah, and this is what these stupid 2/3 and these, and I'm gonna call them that, man, because they are. This is what these stupid 2/3 call themselves. They call themselves demons. They on demon time. Everybody has this saying, "I'm on demon time. I'm a demon. I'm on demon time. I'm a demon. I got this many bodies. I'm a demon. I'm a demon. Demon this, demon that, demon jack." And demons are the weakest entities when it comes to the spiritual rank. But you idiots love calling yourselves demons. It's funny. It's very funny when you don't have the wisdom, the knowledge, the comprehension. And not only just the knowledge and wisdom and comprehension, but you have to have the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Chadash, to break down the wisdom, the knowledge, the Holy Spirit. I mean, to break down the prophecies, rather. Salak. So the angels fear Yahawah, the demons fear Yahawah. But you humans, you imperfect humans, you don't fear Yahawah. But yet the angels, and there's multiple ranks of the angels. There's many ranks of the angels, and they all fear Yahawah Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And you have these humans, these imperfect humans that can't do nothing. Their life is like the vapors, as the scripture says. Your life is like a vapor, here today, here gone tomorrow. They don't fear Yahawah. Specifically, you Israelites. That's really who I'm talking to, you Israelites. The nations, they never feared Yahawah. But that's why they always got dealt with the way they get dealt with. 2nd Esdras chapter 8, verse 21, it says, "Whose throne is inestimable, whose glory may not be comprehended, before whom the host of angels stand with trembling." That's amazing, man. That's amazing. James chapter 2, verse 19, it says, "Thou believe that there is one God, thou do well. The demons also believe and tremble." The demons tremble. And there's many accounts on when Yahweh Shai, the Son, when he came down with the apostles to heal and cast out demons, the demons were scared of Yahweh Shai. They feared Yahweh Shai. They knew who Yahweh Shai was. That's just the spiritual rank, man. Spiritual rank. Spiritual rank. The spiritual rankings. So I'm not gonna tag on this for too long. I'm gonna end it with Isaiah, prophet Isaiah again. Isaiah 66:15-16. It says, "For behold, Yahawah will come with fire, and with his chariots, the UFOs, like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. And as a matter of fact, you're the greatest cinematic movie, your greatest or favorite cinematic movie, or your favorite movie of all time, won't even come to the realm of displaying what's going to happen in the near future or the coming future. All eyes, it says, all heads will bow. Roughly paraphrased, rather. All mouths will confess, and all knees will bow when Yahawah Hamashiach returns. So with that, I'm going to end it, man. Prophecies. What is the profession? What is the job of an apostle, of a prophet, of a righteous person? The saints, the prophets, the apostles, etc. It is to be occupied in prophecy. It is to be hasting the coming and the great and terrible day of the Lord. And that's what the Bible says. That's what the scrolls state. But in the meantime, between time, we do what we got to do. But the main objective is to be hearkening and hasting that great and terrible day of Yahawah, Bahashim Yahweh Shai. With that, I'm going to say, Call Halam La Yahawah, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahawah, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Ka Halam La Yahawah, the Ancient of Days, the Father of Spirits, as Hebrews say, or state, the Father of Spirits. And he tells you that too, man. He say, fear not me. Roughly paraphrased, the Father of Spirits, the Creator of everything. Shalom.